This is Scott the Fix-It Guy, here to fix a Jade Dynasty oven that isn't lighting. We're going to put in this generic igniter. This is a flat oven igniter that works on a lot of different models. We're going to make sure that the oven's unplugged or the breaker's turned off. We're going to pull out the racks, and then this bottom panel just comes right out. Just grab the ends and lift it, pull it out towards you. And these igniters probably go about 4 or 5 years and they need to be replaced. There's a little screw in the back that holds the venturi tube onto the frame, the burner tube, and that's where the igniter's connected. So we took out that screw. We're going to pull the whole venturi tube forward by about 1.5 inches, and then we can just lift the whole venturi tube out, and that's where the igniter is connected. We do want to disconnect these wires too, so we're going to pull the front plate off. We're going to lift it up by about 1 inch and then pull it toward us, and that plate will come right off. No screws, it's just held in by a couple of clips. And then there's 2 wires we want to disconnect. These have wire nuts on them, and sometimes when the igniter has not been replaced there won't be wire nuts, so you may have to cut the wire. With the wire nuts, I'm just pulling them apart. So one bringing power from the oven, one bringing power from the safety valve. They're going to the igniter, and just disconnect those wires. And then we're going to go ahead and lift the whole venturi tube burner assembly out of the oven. And that'll make it a lot easier to replace the igniter. On this one I had a little trouble getting the old igniter off because the bolts that hold it on were kind of rusted. So I actually just removed the igniter out of its case, which is pretty easy to do. You just have to bend the case a little bit. So you can do that if the screws are too corroded. It's best to just replace the case too. I'll show you. So here's the venturi tube, the burner assembly. And I wasn't able to get the screws off, so I just bent the case that holds it. I just pulled it out away from me a little bit by about 1/2 inch, and then I could slide out the old porcelain piece with the igniter. Just be careful that the metal filament on the igniter doesn't hit anything because they're really fragile. So I bent the case, the original case, in a little bit, and then I gently pushed in the porcelain and metal new igniter into the old case until it kind of locks into position. So again, normally it'd be better just to replace the igniter and the case. And got them in position, so now we'll reinstall this. The whole thing only takes you probably 5 minutes. So open up the door, and we're going to slide this back in. This is also kind of similar with the Viking and Wolf ovens, similar arrangement. We're going to feed these wires back through the firewall so we can reconnect them, the new wires. And then the venturi burner tube will gently get it in position and then push it back in by about 1.5 inches. That's going to go onto the safety valve where it shoots in the gas. We're going to line up the hole for where the screw goes, and then we'll just zip in that little screw that holds the burner tube assembly in position. We'll close the door, and then we'll reconnect the wires here. We have 2 wires coming from the igniter, one from the power source, one from the safety valve. And you can hook these up either way, it doesn't matter, there's no polarity issue. So either one of the igniter wires can go to either one of the wires coming from the oven. You just get those into position and then take the new porcelain wire nut that comes with the kit and just screw it on there, get it tight, righty-tighty. Do the other wire, and that's pretty much it. You're done. You just gotta put things back together. We'll just push these wires back in, get them out of the way. You can use a zip tie too to hold them in. And then we'll put the front panel back in by lifting it up We'll push it in slightly, and then we'll let it drop down by about an inch. So this is on the Jade Dynasty ovens. We're going to go ahead and turn it on. Got it plugged in again. Or you can turn on the breaker, plug it in. They got the igniter already glowing. You can turn the light off so it's easier to see. You got it set for heat, and it's pretty fast ignition. Should in a healthy igniter happen within about 30 seconds. When the igniters wear out, it takes a long time to ignite, sometimes like a minute or two, and sometimes you even get a little tiny explosion in there. But this one looks really good, nice blue flame. So we're looking great. We'll go ahead and put it all back together. The knob's getting kind of loose. Actually ended up using contact cement to reattach the knob. So I'm putting in the bottom panel, and then I'll put in the trays that hold it. These are pretty simple and good ovens. They last a long time. And igniters just, again, 4 or 5 years, and they start having these delayed ignition problems. Yeah, I kind of re-glued this knob with contact cement and then put it back on. And we have a good working oven again. Pretty fast, pretty easy. Hope this has been helpful to you and it gets your oven going too. Hope you can subscribe to our channel when you get a chance and like our video. Thanks so much for watching.